Welcome back to Virtual School Assembly. Today we have Dr. Katie Nall. She's a mathematician, a TEDx speaker, a member of the National Speakers Association, and an Advanced Certified Practitioner in Emotional Freedom Technique, that's EFT, and she'll tell you a little bit more about what that is. She also has training in trauma and quantum EFT, and she works for people both online and face-to-face to help them reduce and eliminate their anxiety. So just perfect for this time. We brought Dr. Nall in today because we want to have some good strategies for coping with stress in this unique COVID world that we live in. So we're so pleased to bring Dr. Nall on the show. Thanks for being here. Go ahead, Dr. Nall.
Hi, Lee. First of all, thank you for what you're doing for our students. I know that they are thrilled to have something else to look at. About 10 years ago, I was finishing up my dissertation on my Ph.D., and I was working with a lot of college math students, students who needed to take college math to graduate and couldn't get past it. Now, these were students, Tyler, who were very good in their other classes. And you may know students both in elementary, middle, and high school who are very good in other classes but struggle with math. And we can't figure out why, right? At one point, I owned a Kumon franchise, which is a tutoring program for math. And I saw that it didn't matter of the age from 2 years old to a seasoned adult, and it didn't matter of the ability. I had students of limited ability and gifted students. Everyone could learn math. So I couldn't figure out what was going on. I did a lot of research, and what I identified was that students were basically scared of math. Now, I know it's a four-letter word and all, but still, they were scared. And I couldn't figure out why, because to me, math is beautiful. Math defines the universe and beauty and architecture and music and so many other things. So I was really struggling with identifying with their fear, and I wanted to help them. So I started looking to find out, how can I help people reduce their fear in math? And you know what I found out, Tyler? Nothing. There's nothing out there to help people reduce their fear in math. So I stopped looking for, how do you just reduce fear in general? And in 2010, I ran into a summit, not unlike what you're doing now, by Nick Ortner, called the Tapping Summit. And I kind of watched it for a while, and it's what they call a somatic method. So somatic just means that it has to do with the body in addition to what their people feel. And it helped people reduce fear. And I thought, I have no idea how this works, and I'm going to try. Because I ended up with students who were desperate. They had to have the class to graduate, they didn't understand it, and they needed to know ways to get past it. So I work at a college, and some of the advisors started sending me a student here, a student there, and I love working with students who are desperate, because if they're desperate, they're going to try anything, right? And they were even willing to try this with me. I had gone online, and I had bought the book, and I had watched the DVD. I read the entire book, and I was like, okay, I have no idea if this is going to work or not, but let's try it. And so I taught the students how to go through this process. And one by one, they started coming back, Tyler, and saying, I never got an A in math before. I think I was as surprised as they were. One student came back and said, Dr. Nall, if you hadn't shown me that voodoo stuff, I never would have gotten through my degree. Now, it's not really voodoo, but it is different. And it is curious, I guess, in how it might work. What I've found, Tyler, is that to help students become successful in whether it's math or test taking, just getting through life right now. I mean, we're going through so many changes. Dr. Hans Seeley in 1930s defined stress as it can be either catastrophic, COVID-19, constant, like working at home, or even just common stressors, like how do I get this to work now? right? And I don't know about you, but I'm going through all three of those stressors right now. And as it turns out, stress can affect us not only when we say, oh my gosh, I'm stressed, but if we focus on it, it lands in our body. You may hear some people saying, oh, I have a stress headache, or I'm carrying all the stress on my neck, or oh, my back is really aching. And the stress stops somewhere in our body. Now, if you think about the word emotion, Tyler, the key word in there is what? Motion. And emotion is supposed to move us. It's supposed to move us in some way. And it's also supposed to move through us. Instead, when an emotion gets stuck and stays, that's what causes the stress. When we put our arms around an emotion and hold on to it, that's what causes the stress. So what I'd like to introduce some of your students to is some somatic or body ways to release the stress from whether it's our head, our neck, our shoulders, our back, or wherever we have it, so that they can release the stress. I'll give you a quick story that I love to tell. My oldest granddaughter turned 6 younger than any of her other first grade classmates. So she watched one after another lose their tooth and heard fascinating stories about the tooth fairy. And she still had her teeth. She would come over every week and she'd say, Gummy, look, I got a loose tooth. It always looked like it was pretty solid to me. Well, one day she came in and she's like, Gummy, look, I lost my tooth. And indeed, she had lost her tooth. And I was so excited for her. Before she had lost her tooth, though, she was frustrated. She was angry. She was mad. She was a little jealous, I think. But you know what happened, Tyler? After she lost her tooth, her frustration, her anger, her jealousy, she let go of it. And she put herself into her next challenge, which I think was trying to figure out how to do a backward flip. As adults and even as young people, sometimes it's hard to let go of our emotions. Sometimes we may feel scared or fearful, and we may want to let go of our emotions, but it's kind of hard to do that when everyone around us may feel fear or scared. And so how can we release our fear? How can we release our scare and let it move through us? So let's do a couple of things, shall we? You ready? Yeah. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is, I'm going to show you 3 different things. The first thing we're going to do is a breathing exercise. And what we're going to do is we're going to inhale and exhale, and the third time through, we're going to inhale, and then when we exhale, we're going to hum. And it doesn't matter what sound you make. And I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not musical, so I'm going to apologize. So let's do that together. Ready? Do it again. And then this last time, we're going to hum it out. Now, Tyler, what that does is it vibrates our head, it vibrates our tongue, it vibrates all the pieces of it, and it can calm us down in many ways. It's a very easy thing to do when we're feeling stress and fear and anxiety, maybe not on our own, but caused by our environment. I don't know about you, Tyler, but I find myself in a lot of Zoom rooms. And a lot of times, there are times where I'm distracted or I want to get out. I really am not interested, but I have to stay there. So here's a technique to get you through the Zoom room frustrations. Very easy. You're going to sit up straight and put both feet level on the ground. Yeah. And I'm going to use my hands to kind of motion my feet because I'm not going to put my feet up on the camera. And listen carefully. Put your right toe down and your right heel up. And then your left heel down and your left toes up. So can you kind of see they're opposite? Okay, and then slowly and carefully change it. So now your right heel is down and your right toes are up. And your left heel is up and your left toes are down. And then we're going to keep doing that. And you're slowly. So what you're doing is you're giving your body the signal that you're actually running away because your feet are moving, but it doesn't look like I'm moving on my Zoom, right?
Yeah. Now, what's the purpose of the hands?
Oh, I was just showing you my hands.
Oh, okay.
So
I don't need to hold my hands. I'm just doing it with my feet.
Yeah, it's just your
Got
feet.
it.
I was just showing you with my hands because I didn't want to put my feet up on the camera.
Perfect. No, that works. I'm still running away from you.
Yeah, good. So it's a great way, you know, because I'm doing it right now and nobody can really tell. But it's a way to kind of release your frustration when you're in a Zoom. And it's like, I can't believe they're saying that. And, oh, I still got to smile and I still got to be here. And teacher's saying something I don't understand and I got to wait. But I can use that little foot process to kind of get through it. Is that cool?
Yeah, that's really cool.
So the third and final method that I want to show you, Tyler, and all of the students in your audience is a fabulous way to completely eliminate stress and anxiety. It's called Emotional Freedom Technique, EFT. So let's think about it. It's emotions, and remember, emotions are supposed to move through us. Mm-hmm. Freedom, so it frees us from those emotions, so it allows them to move through us. And the technique is just a method. It's very easy. I was talking to someone the other day and showing it to them, and they go, wow, I can't believe how easy it is. Basically, what we're going to do is we're going to tap on 8 different points in our body, and I'm going to show you that. And then we're going to add words to it, and I think you're going to be surprised about the kind of words we're going to add to it. So let me show you the 8 points first. The first one is on the top of your head, and you can use one hand or the other or both. It doesn't matter. And you tap that 3 or 4 times. And then the next one, I'm going to get close up here for you, is on the edge of your eyebrow, right above your nose. And again, you can use one hand or the other hand or both. It doesn't matter. And then the third one is on the side of your eye on your temple. On your temple, and it's between your eye and your hairline. And again, you can use one or the other or both. And then the other one is under the eye. That's where I keep all my bags. And then under the nose, under the lips. And then this next one is better if you use both hands, and it's on your collarbone. And then if you're able, I'm going to scoot back a little bit so you can see, if you give yourself a hug, I just love to give myself a hug, and it's about 4 inches under your arm. And if that's uncomfortable, you can give the monkey move. And about 4 inches under your arm. Now, those are the spots on our body where we tap. Now, here's the part that's really surprising. Remember when I said that emotions are supposed to move through us? Well, what we're going to do is identify that emotion, and usually it's a negative emotion. And that's the part that surprises people, because almost everybody says, think positive, have those positive slogans. Just because we think positive, Tyler, doesn't mean that we don't have those negative feelings, those negative emotions. And what tapping does while we're saying these negative emotions is allows us to release it so that then we have room for the positive emotions. So let's try it, shall we?
Yeah. Okay,
so what we do usually is start on the side of the hand, and I'm just going to pick, I'm scared, because I've heard a lot of people are feeling scared right now. So you pick it on the side of your hand and you say, even though, and you can repeat after me and say, even though I feel scared right here, right now, I accept the way I feel. And then we're going to say it 2 more times. Even though I feel scared, I accept the way I feel. Even though I feel scared, I accept the way I feel. Now we're going to tap each of those 8 spaces and repeat, I feel scared. In the edge of the eyebrow, I feel scared. And then on the side of the eye, I feel scared. And then under the eye, I feel scared. And then under the nose, I kind of feel scared. And then under the lips, I feel scared. And then on your collarbone, I feel scared.
I feel scared.
Then our monkey move, I feel scared.
I feel scared.
And then take a breath. And then a lot of people, Tyler, will feel a relief. Some people, I have clients literally all over the world, and I have found the stress that lands in their body after we do this a few times, and there are many more steps that can be added to it, that stress, that tension just melts away.
Cool. Now,
Yeah.
Dr. Nall, as you explained this, so first, now that we have this on video, the kids can just follow along with you, which is fantastic. So just like I just did, you can play this video and rewind it and go through the process. Can you explain a little bit about the science behind it? Because it seems a little voodoo, right? So as
It
we're
does.
releasing things, why does the tapping, why does that let us let go of things? What's the science behind that?
So there's actually a book
Oh, wow.
called The Science Behind Tapping, and it's written by Dr. Peta Stapleton. She's a psychologist in Australia, and there's over 30 years of research done on it. What they are finding is it is effective. What we do not completely understand is why it's effective.
Okay.
It is based on traditional Chinese medicine definition of energy flows, which they call meridians. And the tapping spots tap about 98% of the meridians running through our body. In traditional Chinese medicine, what they do believe is that when energy gets stuck in our body, it's kind of like a traffic jam, and that's what causes stress and disease. And that tapping on this, kind of like an acupuncturist, or if you go into Qigong, or sometimes chiropractors will tap out. Like if you have a lump in your arm or something, and sometimes if you tap it out and it just kind of melts, they feel like that's really what's going on. So short answer is we're not really sure. Long answer is it works.
Right. Well, isn't that interesting? I think here in the Western world, when we hear some of this stuff, Eastern medicine has been doing stuff like this for forever, right? And so tapping's not a brand new thing, but it seems weird for people who haven't done it, just like acupuncture and some of those other Eastern medicines. They seem weird because we're not used to them. So it is cool to know that it works. And I've actually tried this out because we've met before and we've talked, and I've tested it out. And the cool thing about this is, for me, so I don't get real wound up, but I am anxious right now. And so going through this and having different meditation practice, it just calms me down. And that's what I need right now. I just need to calm down from time to time. And doing this daily or even several times a day is just a break away from things. Is it designed to be something that you do really regularly, or how often should you be tapping?
So you can tap as much or as little as you want. People will see me driving around town, or used to drive around town with one hand on the wheel and the other hand saying, I can't believe that guy pulled out right in front of me. What are they thinking they were doing? And so here's the thing, Tyler. When you get an emotion that's stuck, that's a good time to tap. Now, I have friends who religiously tap for 1 hour a day, every day. Because we have emotions stuck in us from, I remember my 5-year-old birthday party and being upset and mad about something that I look back at now and laugh. But in my 5-year-old mind, I was really hurt. And so tapping, even if you don't know why, like I have some clients sometime will say, well, I'm not sure this is going to work. I said, great, let's tap on the fact that you're not sure it's going to work. And I have some clients, it's funny, who will say, I'll check in on them a week later saying, I'll say, well, how are you doing with, you really had that fear of going over a bridge. You kept avoiding bridges because you didn't want to go over a bridge. And they'll say, I never had that fear. It eliminates it to such a degree that people forget they even had it. And I have to say, well, this intake form that you filled out said that you had this fear of bridges, and now you no longer have a fear of bridges. So, and we actually have a term for that. It's called the apex term. So, yeah.
Now, is this something that you should be doing by yourself always, or is it something that you could benefit by tapping with others? I mean, we just did it together, and I don't feel like it changed if I had been doing it by myself versus doing it with you. Does it matter?
So that's a very good question, Tyler, and the answer is maybe. So if you do it, you can do it by yourself. Now, you can just tap on the points, and that will give you some sense of relief. When you add words, studies have shown that adding words, especially the negative words, the relief will be greater. If you want even greater relief, specific incidences. For instance, I feel stressed because I was watching the news. And the more specific you get it, I feel stressed because I was sitting on the couch with my husband watching the news, and I could tell he was getting upset. And so the more specific you can get it, the better the cleansing. Now, here's the part that is interesting. We may feel stressed, but there may be different legs of stress. I may feel stressed because other people around me are stressed. I may feel stressed because there's new technology that I have to learn to be able to be effective. I may feel stressed because I can't see my friends. I may feel stressed because, so do you see how each one of those little things can make it? So each one of those would be what I call one round. Until we get to the very bottom of it. Now, I had an issue where I really had a lot of emotional problems. I mean, I know not many people enjoy housework, but I had an emotional reaction to having to do housework. And I said, okay, that's it. I'm going to figure this out. And I sat on the couch one day for an entire 8 hours by myself and tapped and tapped and tapped until I figured out what was going on. Now, it would have been faster if I had worked with a certified practitioner, because I'm not going to ask myself the kind of questions that an outside person is going to ask, right? They're going to ask, well, when did this start and what happened? And I'm like, I don't know. So yes, you can do it by yourself for greater efficiency and effectiveness. Working with a certified practitioner is going to speed up usually every time.
Sounds great. Well, Dr. Nall, thank you so much for coming on today and for showing and demonstrating a strategy that we can all start using today. You know, I love that we have this resource available because kids are stressed out right now. They're stuck at home. They need something to relieve some of that anxiety and that stress. And now they have a tool in their virtual backpacks that they can use and do that. If people want to learn more about this or about you, where should they go?
My website is www.nall, that's my last name, followed by the word edge, edgeco.com. It's knowledgecompany.com. NALLEDGE.co. And I have there a little chart of these 8 tapping points. Cool. And they can email me through there too. They can email me directly at my email address is hello, HELLO, at drnall.com. So it's hello@drnall.com.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much for coming on with us today and giving us a strategy. I'm excited to implement this and have my students do likewise. Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tyler. I appreciate what you're doing.